Fiorello.
Good job, Fiorello.
That's called a fader. You take your hand, you put it in the mid-range.
You got one job up there. You got one job. All you got to do is turn the volume up.
Put your hand on the damn mixer and push up.
Hey, two dummies. Dumb and dumber. Oh, my God.
Jeez, Lloyd.
Fiorello, TK.
Lloyd and what's the other guy's name? Lloyd.
Hey, good job. There goes our Emmys.
Hey, start with V. The letter V. Volume. Turn it up, and then it goes.
DeAndre, thank you for wearing the mic. I'm glad we could do you proud during the post-game show.
Fiorello, turn it up.
Hey, some of the best stuff we've got with a player wearing a mic.
He got Dumb and Dumber up there running things.
Good luck next request you have for a player wearing a mic. Biggest takeaway from that game, besides that, the biggest takeaway from Brooklyn's win over Milwaukee.
Well, again, I like that, James and Kevin are making a conscious effort to keep the guys involved, especially Joe Harris. I've always loved having shooters on my team. And, the other guys are probably some of the greatest scorers that have ever played the game. But when you got a prolific shooter like Joe Harris, you got to keep him happy because it may come a point in time where you need him in the corner. We always talk about, some of the greatest plays. And some of my greatest championship plays don't involve the superstars. Like my favorite player is Steve Kerr and Michael Jordan. Michael said, hey, they double me. And Steve said, Mike, I'm going to be ready. Steve's not a star. He's an other. But the reason why he was ready because Michael and Scotty, they constantly look for him. Him and Kukoc, guys like that, they have confidence. So, kudos to those two guys for, keeping guys like Joe Harris involved.
Brooklyn goes now to play the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday and on Friday in Cleveland as they go there 2-0 since James Harden joined. Kind of a similar question. I mean, your biggest takeaway watching these two without Kyrie Irving and what's going to happen when Kyrie Irving does play with these two?
Well, we see how good James Harden is. That's why he just needed a piece. He doesn't have to go somewhere to get it. He's good enough. If he just had one other guy with him to get you to the Western semis, he can get you to the Western Conference semifinal with one other player.
He's had another guy. He's had other guys.
And he's gotten there.
Stop it.
He's got to the Western Conference Finals.
And he didn't step up.
No, I'm not saying he didn't step up. My point being.
Okay, well, don't say he need another guy. He had three other guys.
And he got to the Western. I just said the Western Conference semifinals. Right. He got there. So I'm like, that's why I was surprised, firstly. Secondly, with Kevin Durant, they're unguardable. The two guys, because the two best one-on-one players in the world, they get to play one-on-one. I told that to the late, great Kobe Bryant once. When he came in here, I was like, why didn't you like playing? He's like, I like playing with Shaq. I never said that. I was like, you're the best one-on-one player who gets to play one-on-one because no one could double you from Shaq. No one could double you if you're James Harden now or Kevin Durant. These guys are going to have a free fall. The biggest thing is going to be, and Charles has said it, I've said it, are they going to be big enough when Kyrie comes? Because they're going to score. But at times, if DeAndre Jordan's not playing well or gets into foul trouble without Jared Allen, they are very small. And you could beat them up if you're Philadelphia. And Ben Simmons and Embiid go inside and start scoring.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you could beat even the Celtics with Tatum can go inside and they can put some punishment on those guys that they typically didn't have with Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan and the rest of those guys that they had.
Well, I think the key, are they going to play defense? Number one, rebound, are they going to play defense? Listen, James and KD are getting all the shots right now. To me, it's all going to be Kyrie. Because to me, he is the number 3 guy now. Is he going to want to play defense? And then,
as a number 3 guy, what's his role then? Well, if you say if he wants to, what would that be? What does that mean if he's?
He's got to be the guy if we need him. First of all, he's going to get 20 points, but he's going to have to do other things. He's going to not going to have the ball. Is he going to keep his head in the game when he doesn't have the ball? This will be the first time in his life he hasn't had the ball all the time. Because even when he was with LeBron, he had it a lot of the time.
LeBron,
but now he really ain't going to have the ball. Mm-hmm. Like he was the number 2 guy in Cleveland. Now he's the number 3 guy to 2 guys who are volume shooters.
Right.
And so he going to have to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get less shot. I'm going to have to play defense.
Would that be your strategy if you were Steve Nash? Would you say, I'm going to have the ball more in James?
Well, first of all, it's got to be in James' hands. Number one, he's a better shooter. He's a better one-on-one player. Like Kyrie is a dribble guy. But James Harden is flat out.
James Harden is a better one-on-one player.
James Harden is.
He's the best one-on-one player
in the world.
Maybe then the guy playing with him.
It's probably a 10 to a 9, not a 10 to a 5.
No, but I'm saying, but James Harden is the guy
who's
who's going to make players better. James Harden he'll pass the ball.
And Kyrie won't pass the ball.
Not like James.
Oh, stop it.
He won't.
I mean, we hope to get our.
I'm not saying that. It's not a race, but Quinn Capella and the big man that played with Houston, like those guys owe him a lot. Like
James Harden
was there.
Like those guys who played with Steve Nash in Phoenix.
Come on, man.
Steve Nash got all those guys played.
Come on.
Steve Nash
made
got
those
all
guys look.
No.
They were all-stars.
Steve Nash made guys. He made Amari an all-star. He made Sean Murray an all-star. He made Joe Johnson an all-star. Those guys are good players. Steve Nash made them all-stars. James made Clint Capella $100 million. He made my man Little Tucker over there $100 million.
I'm not going to sit up here and let y'all talk about James like he's way better than Kyrie.
No, we don't.
There's a difference between being a good player and making players better. James Harden make players better.
I just said he's a better one-on-one player. That was the question you asked me. James Harden's the best one-on-one player in basketball.
And perhaps we will see how.
Close, right?
Perhaps we will see how this meshes.
Go ahead, Ernie. I'm sorry.
What do you got?
No, I'm not saying to go ahead.
I was just saying perhaps we will see how this meshes on Wednesday in Cleveland if Kyrie plays.
See, the problem is it doesn't matter what happened Wednesday. They're going to play a bad team. But I'm saying,
I'm just saying maybe we'll see all three on the floor Wednesday. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Ernie.
And meantime, social media really appreciated the DeAndre Jordan. Had me thinking my TV was broke with that.
No, it's just how producer and
directors.
There you go. Yeah, they won Emmys doing that.
There they go.
There they go.
The one on the right, the short one.
Let's have some more highlights. What do you say? Victor Oladipo making his debut with the Houston Rockets tonight in Chicago.
Can I wait till this one come out on DVD?
No, man.
Victor had himself a pretty good night here in his debut.
I like him with Houston. You know, obviously James is another level scorer, but here's a guy who's had a franchise on his back before, can at least burden some of that shoulder.
Levine knocked that one down.
Okay. Before you, wait to see how the operation ended.
Oh, nice.
7.
The two-time slam dunk champion doing his thing, 64-52 Chicago at the half.
Will Perdue rolling over this.
And this guy, Christian Wood.
Oh, my God.
Feel free to stop him.
He's for real.
He had 30 and 9.
30 and 9.
Yeah, SLN.
Levine pulls up for 3.
I left a friend of mine.
At 14 in the third.
Jack, I left a friend of mine tickets to this game. I left him 4. We got there, it was 6.
Oladipo for 3. 32 points, 9 assists.
32 and 9?
Yeah.
Come on, Oladipo. I hear you, young son.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
3-point game, and then it's Kobe White to Zach LaVine to Lauri Markkanen. And that is a Chicago Bulls win of 125-120. They've won a couple in a row. Houston's lost 2 in a row and 4 of their last 5. That's the first 30-point game for Victor Oladipo since the 18-19 season. Of course, he's had a lot of injuries. Now, you look at the key players from that James Harden deal, and Oladipo goes for 32 in his debut. We await Jared Allen and Taurean Prince, but Karis LeVert, hate to hear that news on Karis LeVert.
Bless you, my young fellow.
Yeah.
What in the world is the Cavaliers going to do with Jared Allen and Drummond?
And JaVale McGee.
Are they trying to do the opposite of the little ball?
I guess so.
They're just going to play 3. They should play. That'd be fun if they played 3 7-foot guys out there at the same time.
But and Indiana's waiting and hopeful that Karis LeVert will see his way through this problem, a mass on a kidney that they found. So,
it's interesting because that Robert Horry was traded for Sean Elliott when I was a Rocket before we won the championships, and he had a kidney problem, Sean Elliott, and the trade was rescinded. And Robert Horry then came back to Houston, and then Sean went back to San Antonio, and that was what Robert said made him the player he was. He said, I will never get traded for not shooting the basketball again. And he started becoming Big Shot Rob, and he started taking big shots. He said that moment of being traded. So hopefully Karis LeVert is healthy, and that guy is a great young player with a great young
Yes, he got a great future. I hope he gets healthy.
No doubt. Golden State and the Lakers, that wrapped up our triple header on this night. And it turned into a ball